Right then, Blades fans, we've got some absolutely massive news coming out of Bramall Lane that could shape the rest of our season. 3 stories today that every single United supporter needs to know about, and trust me, you're going to want to stick around for all of them because what happens in the next few weeks could define whether we're fighting for survival or pushing up that table. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button right now and join thousands of Blades fans getting the latest upgrades before anyone else. Hit the notification bell as well so you never miss a video. We're building a proper community here, a place where real supporters can discuss what's actually happening at our club without all the nonsense you get elsewhere. Your support means everything to this channel. Today we're covering a player potentially on his way out in January, a key midfielder attracting serious interest from rival clubs that could leave us short, and some brilliant news about one of our standout performers this season who's finally hitting the form we knew he had in him. 3 stories, all crucial for understanding where we're heading as we approach what could be the most important transfer window in years. Let's get straight into confirmed. Alex Mighten faces an uncertain future at Sheffield United, and 3 championship and League One clubs are circling like vultures ready to pounce in January. Now, for those who might not remember, Mightens joined us in the summer under Ruben Sells from Chelsea's academy. The 21-year-old came through one of the best youth systems in England and initially looked like he might be a real find when he featured in Chris Wilder's first few matches after the gaffer returned in September. There was talk about his potential, his technical ability, the kind of midfielder who could add something different to our engine room. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets concerning. Since early October, Mighten has made just 1 substitute appearance, 1 single appearance off the bench. He's been left out of the matchday squad multiple times, not even making it onto the bench for some crucial fixtures. When you're not even in the 18, that tells you everything you need to know about where you stand in the manager's thinking. It's clear he's dropped right down the pecking order at Bramall Lane, and for a young player trying to establish himself in professional football, that's absolutely devastating. You can imagine how frustrating that must be for a young lad trying to make his mark in the championship. At 21, this is supposed to be the time when you're playing week in, week out, developing your game, making mistakes and learning from them. Instead, he's watching from the stands or training with the reserves while other players get their opportunity. Ties. That's why a January move, even if it's just a loan deal to get him some proper game time, makes absolute sense for everyone involved. Wilder himself has already made it crystal clear that the winter transfer window is crucial for Sheffield United. We all know we need to bring players in. The squad needs strengthening in certain areas if we're going to mount a serious push away from the relegation zone. But balancing the squad means some players will have to go out as well. It's basic mathematics really. You can't just keep adding bodies without shifting some on, especially when you've got players who aren't featuring. Mighten fits that category perfectly. A talented youngster who needs opportunities we simply can't provide right now. So who's interested in taking him? Well, according to reports from Football League World, 3 clubs are keeping a very close eye on the situation and could make moves when the window opens. First up, Charlton Athletic. Nathan Jones has had a tough run recently for defeats on the bounce, which has seen them slide down the League One table. After what looked like a promising start to the season, his squad is stretched thin with injuries at the moment. Bodies are dropping like flies, and the players who are fit are being run into the ground. They're playing twice a week, training, recovering, playing again. It's relentless. Mighten could provide exactly what they need in the middle of the park: energy, legs, the ability to carry the ball forward from deep, and a bit more attacking threat from midfield positions. Charlton have looked predictable going forward lately. You can see it in their matches. They get into decent positions, but lack that spark to unlock defenses. Mighten could change that dynamic entirely. He's got the technical skills, he's comfortable receiving the ball under pressure, and he can drive forward with pace. Jones has a proven track record of developing young players as well throughout his career at Luton and Stoke, so this could be the perfect environment for Mighten to get his career back on track. He'd have to fight for his place, no question about that. League One is a tough physical league, but he'd definitely get opportunities to prove himself. Second, Portsmouth. Now Pompey are in a right mess at the moment, sitting in the relegation zone, which tells you everything you need to know about how their championship return has gone. John Mousinho desperately needs reinforcements in January, or they could be heading straight back down. They've scored just 15 goals in 18 championship matches. That's nowhere near good enough for a team with ambitions of staying in this division. While their main priority has to be finding a goal scorer, someone who can actually put the ball in the net consistently, they also need more quality and dynamism in the middle of the park. Their midfield lacks creativity. It's too pedestrian, too easy to play against. Matos has the technical ability to drive forward with the ball, commit defenders, and create space for the attackers ahead of him. That could unlock Portsmouth's forward players who are getting absolutely no service at the moment. Adrian Sejikic is their only player with more than 2 championship goals this season, which is a damning statistic. If Matos can add creativity and forward thrust from midfield, it could make a massive difference to their survival hopes. The opportunity to play regular championship football at a club fighting for their lives might appeal to him as well. High pressure, but great experience. And this isn't all by the way. There's a third option that might surprise some of you. Luton Town. Now if Matos wants guaranteed game time, absolutely nailed on starts every week, dropping down to League One might actually be the smart move at this stage of his career. And Jack Wilshere's Luton could be absolutely ideal. Wilshere has made a positive start in management at Kenilworth Road, hitting them playing decent football, and January will be his first transfer window as a manager. You know he'll want to bring in his own players and put his stamp on the squad. That's what all managers do when they get their first window. Their midfield options at the moment, players like Liam Walsh and George Saville, they're solid League One players with experience, no question, but they're not exactly young and dynamic. Matos would bring youth, energy, and real comfort on the ball. Given Wilshere's football philosophy, which obviously comes from his time at Arsenal under Arsene Wenger, and his emphasis on possession-based football and technical ability, Matos fits the profile perfectly. You can almost picture him in a Wilshere team, can't you? Quick combinations, movement off the ball, controlling matches through midfield dominance. He could become a key figure in Luton's push to get back to the championship at the first attempt. And what an education that would be under a manager who understands exactly what it takes to play technical midfield football at the highest level. So what does this mean for Sheffield United moving forward? Well, it's actually quite simple when you break it down. We need to trim the squad, create space for new signings who can actually make a difference to Chris Wilder's first 11, and give opportunities to players who will actually contribute to our survival battle. Matos is talented. There's absolutely no question about that. You don't come through Chelsea's academy without having something special. But if he's not in Wilder's plans for the second half of the season, if the manager doesn't see him as someone who can help us stay in the championship, then a loan move benefits everyone involved. He gets the game time his development desperately needs. We free up wages and a squad spot for someone who can help us now. And if he does well wherever he goes, his value increases, which benefits us in the long run. The next few weeks leading up to January will be absolutely crucial. Wilder knows exactly what he wants to do. He's been planning since he walked back through the door at Bramall Lane, and decisions about players like Matos will be made quickly and decisively. That's how Wilder operates. No messing about, no sentiment, just cold hard decisions based on what's best for Sheffield United Football Club. Here's my question for you lot, and I really want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think Alex Mighten deserves another chance at Bramall Lane? Maybe a run of games to prove himself? Or should we let him go out on loan to develop elsewhere and focus on players who can help us right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below because I'm genuinely interested in what the fan base thinks about this situation. And if you're enjoying this video so far, seriously, give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel grow, and it means we can keep bringing you these detailed updates on everything happening at Bramall Lane. Another blow for squad planning that could hurt us. Hierro Rita Wald is attracting serious interest from championship rivals and clubs abroad ahead of January, and we could lose him for nothing. Right, this one's genuinely concerning because Rita Wald has been such a smart addition since we brought him in on a free transfer. For those who need a quick recap of how we got here, the 29-year-old Dutch international joined us in October on a short-term deal. After becoming a free agent, he's made 8 appearances under Wilder already. He even scored in that absolutely brilliant 3-0 away win against Leicester City at the King Power Stadium last weekend. What a performance that was from the whole team. What a result. What a statement. But here's the problem, and it's a significant one. According to Football Insider, who are usually pretty reliable with championship news, Rita Wald is now firmly on the radar of several championship clubs for the January window. Not just that, there's genuine interest from overseas clubs as well, though the specific names and countries haven't been revealed yet, which is frustrating. And here's the kicker, the part that should worry every Blades fan. His contract runs out in January. That means we're in a race against time here. We either extend his deal now, in the next few weeks, or we lose him for absolutely nothing mid-season. Let's talk about his background quickly because it's important context. Rita Wald came through the famous Ajax Academy, one of the best development systems in world football, and made his way into their first team at a young age. Proper pedigree, proper footballer. He played 93 games for Ajax, scoring 3 goals, before moving to England. He joined Crystal Palace back in 2017, played 97 games for them across all competitions over 7 years, scored 3 goals. Decent spell in South London, experienced Premier League football under multiple managers. Then he left Palace in 2024, had a stint at Royal Antwerp in the Belgian Pro League where he played 21 matches before his contract was terminated, and we picked him up on a free transfer last month. Since arriving at Bramall Lane, he's shown exactly why Wilder wanted him in the building. Experience, composure in possession, positional intelligence, and that goal against Leicester proved he can still contribute in the final third as well. For a free transfer on a short-term deal, bringing in a player of his caliber and experience, you genuinely can't ask for much more than that. It's smart business. But the timing of this interest from other clubs is really tricky and potentially problematic. We've just hit a bit of form, haven't we? 3 wins in a row against Sheffield Wednesday in the Derby, which was massive, Portsmouth away, where we showed real character, and Leicester at the King Power, which was probably our best performance of the season. We're unbeaten in 4 matches now. The confidence is building throughout the squad. We're playing better football, executing the game plans, and suddenly we're looking up the table rather than constantly looking over our shoulders at the relegation zone. Even though we're still only 2 points above the drop, which is far too close for comfort, 10 points off the playoffs still. But there's genuine momentum now, you can feel it. But here's where it gets complicated from a squad planning perspective. Do we extend Rita Wald's contract and keep him for the rest of the season, guarantee him wages and a squad spot? Or do we let him go, thank him for his contribution, and use those financial resources elsewhere on a player who might be younger or fit the long-term plan better? Wilder has to balance the books carefully. He knows we need additions in January to strengthen the squad, but we can't carry too many players on the wage bill either. It's a delicate balancing act. If championship rivals are sniffing around, we're talking about clubs with resources here. That tells you they rate him highly. They've watched him, scouted him, seen what he can do at this level. Same with the foreign clubs showing interest. At 29, Rita Wald still has plenty to offer. He's got years left at championship level, and his experience of playing at the highest level could be absolutely invaluable to us as we battle to move up the table and away from danger. The decision needs to come soon though. There's no time to mess about. His contract expires in January when the window opens, so we've got weeks, not months to sort this out. If we're serious about keeping him, if Wilder sees him as part of the plan, we need to get a new deal sorted quickly before other clubs can offer him something. If we're letting him go, if the decision has been made that he's not part of the future, then Wilder needs to identify a replacement immediately, because you can't afford to lose bodies mid-season in a relegation battle. Here's what genuinely concerns me about this situation. We're finally building something tangible. Under Wilder, the team's clicking, the system is working, results are coming, and the squad is showing the fight and determination we associate with Sheffield United. Losing Rita Wald mid-season could disrupt that momentum, especially if we don't have a proper replacement lined up and ready to come in. Squad harmony matters, continuity matters, and when you got something working, you don't want to mess with it unnecessarily. On the other hand, if he's not part of the long-term plan, if he's just a stopgap solution, then it makes absolutely no sense to tie up wages that could go towards a player who fits better or has a longer future at the club. My gut feeling, and you can disagree with me on this, is that we should keep him until the end of the season at the very least. He's proven he can do a job at championship level. He's got the experience we desperately need, and we need depth in the squad if we're going to sustain this run of form through the hectic winter period. but I completely understand if Wilder sees it differently. If he's got other targets lined up who he thinks are better options. Your turn. Should Sheffield United extend Hierro Rita Wald's contract and keep him for the rest of the season? Or should we let him leave in January and invest those wages elsewhere? I genuinely want to hear what you think about this. So get in the comments and let's have a proper discussion about this dilemma. Don't forget to hit that like button if you're finding this useful and informative. Your support genuinely makes a massive difference to this channel. Could a fan favorite be the key to our season? Callum O'Hare reveals his personal target and makes a big statement about Chris Wilder. That shows exactly where this team is heading. Now this is the good news story we all need after some of the challenges we've discussed. Callum O'Hare has been absolutely brilliant for us this season. Genuinely one of the few bright sparks in what's been a difficult campaign. And after that fantastic 3-2 victory against Leicester City on Saturday, he's opened up about his personal ambitions and what it's like working under Chris Wilder. This interview gives you a real insight into the mentality in the dressing room. Let's set the scene properly. At the King Power Stadium last weekend, O'Hare was involved in both of our opening goals within the first few minutes, which basically set the tone for the entire match. Less than 2 minutes into the game, before Leicester had even settled, he threaded a perfect ball through their defense to Tom Cannon, who finished brilliantly to score against his former club. Absolutely brilliant stuff, the kind of incisive passing we need more of. Then just 2 minutes later, O'Hare thought he'd scored his 5th championship goal of the season, but the goal was eventually credited to Hierro Rita Wald after the ball took a slight deflection off the Dutchman. Still, O'Hare was credited with 2 assists on the day, taking his tally for the season to impressive numbers. Here's the remarkable stat that really illustrates his importance O'Hare now has for goals. It's 6 assists in the championship this season. That means he's been directly involved in 10 goals total in just 18 matches. Out of our 20 championship goals so far this season, he's contributed to exactly half of them, 50%. Just let that sink in for a moment. One player involved in half of our goals. Half. That's the kind of impact that wins matches. That's the kind of contribution we've been absolutely crying out for since we came down from the Premier League. After the Leicester match, O'Hare spoke to BBC Radio Sheffield and revealed something really interesting about his mindset and preparation. He said that during preseason, before a ball had even been kicked competitively, he sat down and set himself a clear personal target to focus specifically on goals and assists. He's been working incredibly hard on it in training, really concentrating on being more creative and influential in the final third, working on his finishing, his passing in dangerous areas, his movement to create chances. And here's what he said, and this is a direct quote that really stuck with me. These days you're only rated as a good player if you're scoring goals and providing assists. He went on to say he's been putting in the effort to improve those numbers, and it's clearly working for him and the team. That kind of self-awareness and personal ambition is exactly what we need throughout the squad. O'Hare isn't just coasting on natural talent, relying on ability alone. He's actively working to develop his game, identifying weaknesses, and putting in the graft to improve. At 27 years old, he's hitting his absolute peak years as a footballer, and this could genuinely be the season where he establishes himself as one of the championship's top creative midfielders, the kind of player bigger clubs look at in the summer. But it's not just about O'Hare's individual brilliance and personal statistics. He also spoke really passionately about Chris Wilder and the impact the Gaffers had since returning to Bramall Lane in September. O'Hare said, and I'm paraphrasing slightly, but this is the essence of it, that Wilder has been incredible since he arrived, that he's changed absolutely everything at the club, the mentality, the tactics, the belief, and that all the players are fighting for him. That's absolutely massive. To hear from a key player, after the complete chaos of the start of the season under Ruben Sells, where we looked absolutely lost and rudderless, Wilder has come in and restored belief, organization, structure, and that winning mentality we've always associated with Sheffield United Football Club. Just imagine for a moment if Wilder had been here from day one of the season. Where will we be in the table now? Mid-table? Pushing for playoffs? It's genuinely frustrating to think about what might have been, but there's absolutely no point dwelling on hypotheticals and what-ifs. What matters is we're heading in the right direction now under a manager who knows this club inside out. O'Hare also talked about the team's collective ambitions moving forward into December and the second half of the season. He emphasized the importance of taking it game by game, not getting ahead of ourselves, staying focused on the next opponent, and continuing to battle for results match after match. With these packed schedules where we're playing 3 matches in 8 or 9 days, the championship table can change dramatically and rapidly. One good week where you pick up 9 points and suddenly you're flying up the standings into mid-table security. One bad week where you lose 3 on the bounce, you're back in serious trouble. That's the championship for you. That's the beauty and the nightmare of this league. But the mentality O'Hare is describing, that focus on consistency, hard work, and taking it one match at a time, that's what will keep us moving upwards. We're 2 points above the relegation zone right now, which is still far too close for comfort, but we're also building real momentum. 3 wins in a row, unbeaten in 4, and we've got Stoke City coming to Bramall Lane on Saturday. If we can make it for wins in a row, for victories on the bounce, suddenly we're right in the mix in mid-table, and everything looks completely different. What excites me most about O'Hare's comments is the genuine belief. He's not just saying the right things for the cameras. You can tell he genuinely thinks this team can climb the table and achieve something this season. He's backing Wilder completely, buying into the vision and working his socks off to make it happen. When your key players, your most talented footballers, are buying into the manager's vision and working that hard to improve individually and collectively, good things happen. Results follow. O'Hare's performances this season are living evidence of that principle. His developing partnership with players like Tom Cannon is really exciting as well. That quick combination for the opening goal against Leicester, the understanding between them, that's the kind of chemistry that wins matches and climbs you up the table. If O'Hare can keep creating chances with his vision and passing ability, and Cannon keeps putting them away with his finishing, we've got a real foundation to build the rest of the season on. Here's my question for all of you watching, and I'm really interested in the variety of opinions. How important is Callum O'Hare to our survival this season? Could we realistically stay up without his contributions? Or is he absolutely essential to everything we're trying to do? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to hear what different parts of the fanbase think about his importance. And please, if you haven't already done so, smash that like button and share this video with other Blades fans you know. The more people we can reach, the stronger our community becomes, and the better discussions we can have. Right then, let's wrap this up and bring it all together. 3 major stories from Bramall Lane today that paint a pretty clear and interesting picture of exactly where we are as a club right now. First, Alex Mighten looks set for a move away in January, with Charlton Athletic, Portsmouth, and Luton Town all showing genuine interest in taking him either permanently or on loan. It makes sense for everyone involved really. He desperately needs game time at a crucial stage of his development, and we need to balance the squad and create space for players who can actually contribute to Chris Wilder's plans. Second, Hierro Rita Wald is attracting serious interest from championship rivals and foreign clubs, and we need to make a decision on his future very quickly. His contract expires in January when the window opens, so the clock is literally ticking. Do we keep him or let him go? Big decision coming. And third, the genuinely positive news that we should celebrate. Callum O'Hare is in absolutely brilliant form, directly involved in half of our goals this season with 10 goal contributions. And he's full of praise for Chris Wilder and the direction we're heading as a club. That's the kind of thing that breeds confidence throughout the entire squad. Put it all together, and you've got a club that's finally starting to find its feet and identity after an absolute nightmare start to the season. 3 wins in a row, real momentum building, players believing in the manager and the system, and a January transfer window approaching where Wilder can really shape this squad exactly the way he wants it. The pieces are coming together. If you've made it this far through the video, genuinely thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It makes a massive difference. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it useful. Your support genuinely means the world and helps us keep bringing you the latest Sheffield United news and analysis. Drop your thoughts in the comments below on any of these 3 stories. Let's have a proper discussion about what's happening at our club. What moves should we make in January? Who should stay? Who should go? What's your biggest concern? What excites you most? I want to hear from you, from real supporters who care about this club. We'll be back very soon with more upgrades, more analysis, and hopefully more positive news as we head into what could be a massive December for Sheffield United. The next few weeks could define our entire season. Come on, you Blades. Let's keep this run going and climb that table. See you in the next one. Up the Blades.